Hey there, it's E Squared Photography. I'm Erin, solo without Emily today, but I'm here to keep things simple and fun. Do you maybe feel unprepared before sessions or just flat out stressed out? Well, we're here to talk about 7 things we do before every photo session. And make sure to stick around until the end because we have something that's going to help you out. By the end of this video, we hope you feel more confident planning and going into your next session. And for more photography tips and tricks, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell for notifications for future videos. Okay, so let's dive in to 7 simple steps to prepare for a smoother, faster, and just more fun session. So yes, we are guilty of it. We have shown up with uncharged batteries, without SD cards. We've done it all. But now we have a system in place. So if you want sessions to feel less chaotic and your photos to actually turn out like you pictured in your head, you do need a pre-shoot routine, and we found that out the hard way. So this is the exact stuff we do before every session to save our sanity and make the experience better for everyone involved. All right, so step number 1 is packing your bag. So don't wait until 10 minutes before. Do this. A lot of times we will actually pack our bag the night before and make sure our batteries are all charged. So fully charged batteries, empty SD cards, make sure you reformat those every single time. So we always like to double check to make sure we have extras of things, whether it be batteries, memory cards, make sure we have our reflector packed away. You can clean your lens. We don't necessarily do that before every session, but that's something that you can try and get in the habit of doing. And then always think, could I pack a backup? If you have some sort of backup camera or backup battery, whatever it might be, if you have that, you can always make sure that that's packed. Honestly, it doesn't even hurt to write a checklist. We've actually typed one out and put it inside of our camera bag before to make sure that it's just always there so we can check before. And we used to do this more so for weddings, but that would be another great thing if you are someone who just kind of seems all over the place or disorganized. All right, step number 2 is so important, and this is review the client questionnaire or notes. So what we like to do is we do give out questionnaires to our clients. We like to put anything that's important from that into the notes section of our Google Calendar. So wherever we save the session date within our Google Calendar, under the notes section, we have some things written down. So we like to review over those so we're not walking in blind to the session. So whether that be maybe it's a family session and we're reviewing the names of the family members. Do we always get it right when we show up? No, but at least we have a place to try and go to memorize the names. We like to look at the ages of the kids that we're going to be working with because that tells us maybe we need to bring a special prop for them to sit on or a toy for them to play with or have some sort of music planned if maybe they wrote something special. So you need to know if you're working with a shy kid or maybe a senior who's a little bit bold and edgy, how are you going to approach them? So you really want to make sure that the client feels like you know them a little bit going into it, especially if they filled out and took the time to fill out a questionnaire for you. Okay, step number 3 is planning the poses or prompts ahead of time. So having a game plan, not necessarily a Pinterest meltdown mid-session. While we do know that the posing freeze up is totally real, we totally get it and we've been there, we are still there sometimes. It's always good to at least go in with a mental game plan or checklist of maybe just 5 go-to poses that you want to do with whatever you're working with. So when it comes to family sessions, we always kind of talk about it before, but we like to say, okay, we're going to start with a walking pose. They're all going to hold hands, and then we're going to do a standing pose. Let's have the parents in the middle, and then let's do the kids in the middle. And then we're going to have them sit down. And then from there, let's do individuals. So individual kids, and let's do the kids together. Let's see if they want, maybe they've already told us they want mom and kids, dad and kids. Let's make sure we get one of mom and dad. And then at the end, I would love to try where the parents are scaring them from behind or a little ring around the rosy. Now, does it go that way? No. Usually it doesn't go that way, especially when you're working with little kids in a family, but we at least have a plan and we've mentally thought through some of the things that we want to do. Have we also went in with a checklist? We have, and I think that's okay when you're first starting to go in with a checklist of things that maybe they requested or just a reminder for you in case you do freeze up. Okay, step number 4, and this doesn't always work, but we like to try and do it if we can, is scout the location because light is going to change everything in a photo. And so the main reason we're location scouting in general is to check for good light because that is going to make or break a photo. And so making sure when you are location scouting to actually look at the location the exact time that you'll be doing the session. Because if you look at, 4 hours earlier or later, it's going to change the whole look of that place that you are shooting at because the sun does some funny things. Also keeping in mind, there's overcast days and there's sunny days too. So that's going to change things too. But it's best to go on a sunny day when you know the sun might be out for the session, just to make sure that you like it. And when you're looking for places to take photos, we always look for places with open shade. In other words, where we can shade our clients and we can hopefully be in the shade. And when they look up, open shade means when they're looking up, there's nothing above them, making it too dark in that area. And then if you can't go beforehand, there's always using something like Google Street View. That's obviously not always ideal, but it's something to at least look into. All right, step number 5 is set your camera before the client shows up. You don't want to be fumbling in front of people. Now, while we're so used to getting our camera set up now that we probably do it once people arrive because it's so quick. We like to keep things incredibly simple. However, when you're first starting out, or if you're somebody who just gets caught up, can't multitask maybe a ton, it is a great idea to try and get there before your client. That's always a great idea no matter what, because you're kind of looking at the location, thinking through things, prepping a little bit in your head beforehand, but getting your camera out, making sure, the previous session is cleared off. We're not duplicating and running out of room on our SD cards or whatever it might be. And we're setting our ISO, we're setting our shutter speed, we're setting our aperture, whatever it might be. We use an expo disc, so maybe we're setting our white balance at that time. And then maybe we're taking a few test shots. So it's just a great time to just prepare and make sure you're ready to go. And so if they step out and you had to take a shot really quick for some reason, you were ready to go. Because sometimes we get in the habit of, they stepped out and now we're chatting with them and now we're distracted and we just turn our camera on and start shooting because maybe nerves are coming in and the settings are from, last week's session, which was a whole different place, maybe a whole different time of day. And when we get home, we look at the photos and we don't like them because something was off, right? So it's better to go in prepared. Okay, number 6 is something that sometimes we forget about, but it's important to remember to always have a backup plan, whether that be for weather purposes, maybe toddlers not cooperating, or lighting just isn't working out. Because those 3 things, they don't care about your plans, okay? And so, for example, if you can have a backup date, if it's going to rain, maybe you've got a date that you have scheduled for backup. So that's always a plan. As far as toddlers not cooperating, it happens. Newsflash, it does. But maybe you just kind of have thought through like, okay, so if they aren't going to cooperate, I'm going to give them a break. And while they're taking a break, I'm going to do this part of the session. Just having that plan, being prepared ahead of time is important. Or maybe you've got a song on your phone that you can play that maybe they'll like and engage them back into it. And lighting. We've run into this before where maybe we haven't had a chance to scout the location and we get there and the light's not great. So it's always nice, this is actually what we do a lot, is when we're driving to a session where we know we're going to be shooting and we haven't scoped it out, we're always looking on the side of the road, if there's any buildings nearby, to see if there's any places that have decent light. Because if we get to the location and it's terrible and it's really not going to work out, we will say, hey, we're going to take a few shots here. The light's just really not that great, but let's take a few shots. And then we saw a really neat spot on our way here that we want to bring you to because we think the light is going to be so awesome and you're going to love it. And we're just flat out honest with them because it's more important to do that than to deliver poor photos. So, and most important, number 7, hype yourself up. Energy is contagious. So we want to show up like a boss. Remind yourself that they hired you and you're good at this. You need to show up confident and energetic so they appreciate you and the energy wears off on them. So no one needs to know that you're a beginner if you show up prepared. So preparation makes you look pro. Even if you're brand new, people are going to notice that you're prepared and respect you a lot more. So this routine that we went through really saves our butts in a lot of situations. And sometimes we have to get back in and out of it. You know, we get out of the funk for a little bit and we have to pump each other up or change things a little bit. But this is a good start, and hopefully this video was helpful and you took away some tips. Now, if you want a little bit more, in the description below, we actually linked our portrait photography starter kit, which is absolutely free. And we want you to check that out because that might have some great things that can actually push you even further into feeling more confident. And if you like this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and share with a friend so we know to make more videos just like this one. And I will see you next time.